What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to Tour Life. A little bit of a new set. We're actually in Foundation HQ live here in Lynchburg. I've got to figure out what camera to look at. Here we go. No blurry horse this episode. So shout out to Silas. He's going to kind of flex his muscles a little bit and show you what we can do here. I'm going to be accompanied by Hunter today because Yuli might be a dad.
It's exciting.
Very soon.
Very exciting.
Yeah, very, very exciting stuff. So congratulations to him and his family. That is awesome. Today's going to be a great episode, though. We're going to have tons and tons of guests. We're going to have pretty much almost every top name that's going to be in the field playing this week coming on to talk with us. Very exciting. But before we jump into that, shout out to our sponsor, Discbox. Most disc golfers have a stash of extra discs. For some, it's dozens. For some, it's hundreds. And for many, it takes the form of unruly piles and stacks that don't fit properly in any container and waste a lot of space. But now there's a storage solution called Discbox. Discbox is the only low-cost disc storage product on the market. It's a simple storage bin that holds up to 30 discs, requires no tape or glue, and is made from recycled material in the US of A. Go to discboxdg.com and you will find quantity discounts, wholesale options, multiple colors, and most importantly, no order minimums. So you can order just one if you want. Discbox also makes a great players pack as well. Visit discboxdg.com today and get your collection organized. Use code FOUNDATION for 15% off your order. Hunter, let's not beat around the bush.
Let's not.
This place, first off, shout out to you for getting this done. I made the joke, I have a lot of sweat equity in here because this actually used to be the gym I trained at when I was living here. So kind of a crazy to be back in this space. But I have to say, guys, if you can make it to Lynchburg, Virginia, not only to play the World courses, definitely swing by Foundation Disc Golf. This place is incredible. We have a tech disc out there that you can practice. You can throw shots, all that stuff. But what I'm saying is we got a lot of space back here. And it's filled with pros.
It is filled.
It's filled with pros. So let's get some of them on right here. We'll get Scott Stokley on first. And Ricky, you want to pop on too? All right. We got Scott. Appreciate you coming, brother.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
I'm too short to make that reach.
Appreciate it, Rick.
Appreciate it, Rick. Appreciate it, Scott.
All right.
Oh, he's got the long arm.
This is the first time we did this a little bit at USDGC, I think, Silas, right? A little bit where we were just having people bounce on, but not live, yeah. So this is the first time live. If you guys have questions for the people that we have on, pop them up. Hunter will probably be paying attention to that and pop on. But first and foremost, guys, how, this is, I lived here for a little bit. Hunter's lived here pretty much his whole life. How's Lynchburg? How's the courses?
Yeah, I think it's surprising for a little small town. You got some couple decent restaurants. You got now these new courses that you guys have built here is awesome. I think you got a great compliment. I think that golf course probably isn't in all the time. I wouldn't imagine. So it's kind of a temporary deal. But yeah, the new London course is an awesome course. That's you said you were training here, so it makes sense to have a world class facility here. It's awesome to be able to play it. I'm excited. I think people are going to be, surprised at how it's challenging, but yet scoreable. I'm excited.
Yeah, and I'm actually excited to see you guys going through something I go through, because at the Pro Tour courses, typically there's a few holes where I go, yeah, I'm happy to get par here. I mean, Gannon, Ricky, and Simon, they're not playing for par, but I'm happy. There's holes out here that you are happy to par.
For sure, yeah.
That is welcome to my world.
Yeah, like a Pro Tour par 4 that, is pars are good. That's kind of there's a lot of holes out there that is a very, likelihood possibility that people are playing for par on some of the par, even par 5. Some of the par 5, same deal. Like, yeah, I think, what is it, hole 6, I think? The one
6.
Yeah.
A lot of people just
real
keep
quick.
playing for 5. There's, 4s, you can do it, but you're not going to see very many, throughout 2 rounds out there. You may see less than 5, I would say.
Yeah, something that I've talked about with course design, and something I think Paul has done great with New London, and Nate Heinel and his team has done great with Ivy, is we got to stop playing holes where distance doesn't matter. What I mean by that is distance control. We play a lot of holes where it's if you throw straight 450 feet, you have a birdie, you have a good shot in. If you throw straight 500 feet, you're still fine. If you throw a lot of holes out here at New London, it's if you're 50 feet long, you're OB. Mm-hmm. If you're 30 feet short, you're pinched. Mm-hmm. And I love that kind of style of disc golf. And I also think there's enough holes too on both courses where you will not see the best players in the world all throw the same shot.
Yeah.
Like people are going to attack holes differently based off their skill sets. And we play a lot of times, we play courses where it's very like, this is the shot you need to throw. Who can throw the best shot? And here it's more like, you can attack it a couple different ways. Go for it. Go after and see what you can do.
Yeah, and I think a lot of Ivy Hill is just OB on both sides. But I think it's good because in some of the holes, I think specifically hole 3, you're like going through a tunnel and then you're playing on the golf fairway. If you hit wide and you're not going to skip in, you're literally just going to Velcro right side and not skip back. But if you hit the fairway, so it's kind of a fast fairway and kind of they utilize that pretty well. Playing on a golf course, so I think that's really cool. And like you said, a lot of, and I think a lot of the drop zones too. Like you go OB, you're going to a drop zone. There's no, hey, did you go up here? Like go up 50 feet further. It's like you're either in or you're out. And if you're out, you're going to a drop zone. Scrambling for par. And it's not a gimme par either. You have to some of these drop zones you're having to throw 400 or 500 feet with OB everywhere to save that par. You got to really work for it.
Yeah, I don't think there's any drop zones on New London. Right. And then Ivy, I think there's just 2 drop zones that I guess you could throw in to save.
Right.
But there's no 40-foot death putt drop zones, which I love because it's just going to add the pressure throughout the enther tournament.
For sure. It just puts a more premium on driving for sure.
Well, New London also, it gives you an advantage if you throw far, which it should reward power because power is a skill, just like accuracy and putting. But it's not a course where it's just over and over again. If you out throw me, you're going to beat me. Like I could beat one of the top throwers out here for a round.
For sure.
I can't beat a top distance thrower at OTB, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, because here the premium is fairway.
Most of the time.
400 feet fairway is better than 500 feet off the fairway.
But there are a few times, though, where if you throw far, you get rewarded. So.
Yeah, for sure.
One question I saw that's actually asked there, but it's looming on a lot of people's minds. Rick, how's the body feeling, specifically the rib? Back to 100%, or where are you at?
Yeah, no, I am. So Idlewild was, I was playing through that injury. The rib, I think it was just an overuse thing, and then I was in the field and just felt a pop before the final round in Estonia and played through it because I had to as the final round, and then just been dealing with that. Didn't know what it was. I thought I strained something or something, but it was a popped out rib, and then everything got inflamed around there. It's that whole deal with that. But yeah, went to a chiropractor. They popped it back in, and been doing a lot of ice baths. Got a plunge set up at my Airbnb, so I've been doing that. And I'm feeling pretty much back to 100% like I was in Europe. So I'm excited for that.
Awesome.
What's the last question before we let you guys go? What's expectations for you guys this week? Like what are you seriously? If I win, great. If I lose, let down.
Yeah,
is that where you're at?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Yeah, at this point, it's that's why my game is in a spot. My career's in a spot to where that's really what I want to do. I want to win, and I know that my game's good enough to win. So that's all I'm really thinking about. So yeah, I've formed a game plan to where. Like you said, there's some holes I am playing for par, and I think that's going to be going to be good enough on some holes. Obviously, still being aggressive on a lot of the other holes, but yeah, I think it's just consistency out here playing 5-round World Championships. It's there's going to be people getting hot for round 1 and 2, 3, and then it's but the cream will always rise to the top.
Sure.
By the fourth round is normally when you'll see it. You'll see a unicorn pop off the first or second round, and then the pressure gets to them, and they're not used to being in that spot. And hey, you never know, someone could make lead card final day and be in the hunt for a world title. That's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Scott?
Honestly, my expectations are always to win. I will never play a tournament if I don't feel like I'm competing to win. Having said that, a big thing that's on my mind these days, playing with people like you, is that as long as I'm finishing in the cash or in the top 40%, nobody's going to say I don't belong. I'm still one of the guys. I'm still one of the competitive players out here. So you might say I don't want to embarrass myself. I want to play good enough to feel like I belong playing with people like you, Rick.
See some big forehands out there at Ivy, that's for sure.
You bet.
Heck yeah. All right, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
Best of luck.
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to keep it rolling here. I think we've got the two crazies. Is that who's next up? Yeah, you the two crazies. That's what you're getting. We'll see if chat knows who I'm talking about as they come in here.
I'd imagine so. I think there's only 2 people you would say that to. There's the craziness.
Don't lump me in with that.
Do you see why I said that? Do you see why I said that?
Yes, but don't lump me in with it.
All right, boys, here we are, all in Lynchburg. You're actually familiar with this place decently because
yeah, my family.
I was gonna say I don't know if people know that. Have you talked about that much?
No, I don't think so.
Do you want to talk about that much?
My two brothers live out here. My parents moved out to be kind of close to them too. So yeah, it's kind of like a new home, kind of.
Yeah. So for those that haven't watched any of Ezra's videos this week, Jude's back on the bag, baby.
He's back on the bag. It's gonna be huge, and the camera too.
And the camera, yeah. So
camera's super clutch, man.
Goose Man, first question to you is: this week a little bit different preparation because you are filming a lot of videos. Have you noticed any sort of, hey, I'm like actually really talking out these holes a lot, having to describe them to the camera and the people at home? Have you noticed any of that helping your game, or is that something that you normally always do in your head, even when you're just practicing?
Yeah, it's definitely something I do in my head. It's become a routine these days. I do so many practice rounds with Ezra that it's just become part of my first round on the course is feeling it out in those practice round videos. I will say this week it was really nice getting to play that doubles battle with Adam and Paul because we got to see two other players attack the course a little bit differently. Got to take a few different lines from both of them as well. Yeah,
it's always interesting when you play new courses because I think it does take everyone a little bit of time to get comfortable with it. That's why a lot of times you see when we do go play a new course, even though we've practiced it a couple days prior, the first day scores are always lower than the second day scores because I feel like people always kind of get a little bit more comfortable with the course as the tournament goes on. What do you guys feel about the tournament? How do you feel about your chances? I know your name was actually brought up. You guys will see, I guess, on debate night in a couple days as a dark horse favorite to potentially compete again for a championship. Second place in the world distance contest. Gotta bring it up.
I can't tell if you're saying that in a good way or a bad way.
But how do you guys feel about your game going into the biggest tournament of the year?
My game's been kind of up and down, so hopefully the stars align and I put 5 good rounds together. And obviously this is kind of a tournament where if you win this tournament, it's like a life-changing moment. And there's been players that have won this tournament in the past that haven't been the best player at the time, and so that's I'm hoping to have something special for sure.
Freaking love that.
I will say, as far as Ezra's game, I could see it coming for a while now. His distance has been increasing with every tournament we've been playing, so I'm not surprised he took second place there because he has been crushing lately. As far as my chances at this tournament, I love both these courses. I think they adhere to the best part of my game, which is just kind of breaking down courses into shots I know I can throw. There's a lot of par fours, a lot of strategy out there, so I think that's the best part of my game. And my putting's been feeling great, so I think those things together, I got a good chance out here.
Putting's been fire, for sure.
Yeah, you got this little dark horse frog hop putt.
He's copied Andrew Marweed.
Oh, isn't it? Oh, that is an Andrew Marweed putt. You little dirty dog.
That's a good person to copy. It's a good one to copy.
That is. All right. New person, never been to Lynchburg before, coming out to Worlds. What do you think they should Should they, post up on a certain hole? Do you think that's going to show a lot of fireworks throughout the tournament? Should they walk with the lead card? What are you thinking advice wise to someone that's never maybe gone to a big disc golf tournament? What are you telling them?
So we were talking about this a little bit. At New London, we don't have a great idea of where the best place to post up is. So my recommendation would be to follow a card that you're really a fan of the players. That way you can actually go through the fairways, see some of the lines they're throwing. As far as Ivy goes, Ivy is super viewable. I think that's a good one where you can post up on a good spot. Bunch of the holes are near each other too, where you can see some people coming in with up shots, throwing tee shots. So if you are looking for really viewable, they've got bleachers in really good spots at Ivy. And I'm glad that they're finishing there because it'll be really viewable for everybody involved.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I did have one more question.
Yeah,
I got to play New London with both of y'all this week. I didn't get to see y'all at Ivy, though. So what do you think of Ivy? And also, how do you think comparison score-wise? Are they both courses going to play pretty similar difficulty? Or do you think one's definitely going to be, that's the scoring separating course or anything like that?
It's definitely. I think it's going to definitely score different for different playoffs. So I think you might see some shake up with the alternating rounds, which is kind of exciting. I think distance is kind of crucial at both if you want to get the birdies, and I think it's a little bit more beneficial at Ivy. So I'm kind of excited for that one. But with the OB at Ivy too, I could see. The scores might not be that low.
Yeah, I think there'll probably be more separation at Ivy because there is a lot of OB. There's a lot of tight fairways. A lot of things can go wrong. I will say that New London in general, I think, is a fully well-rounded course. So obviously, I think the Woods players will play better there. But I think you can see players that Woods isn't their specialty also pop off at New London. But at Ivy, you really do need to just keep the disc in the fairway, throw some massive shots, and make your putts.
Sweet. And these guys both just came out with new discs over on Discraft, so go check them out. Nuke.
Yeah.
And then
Jawbreaker Nuke OS.
Nuke OS. So go check those out. Appreciate you guys stopping by.
Thanks
we
for
wish you
having
the
us.
best
Appreciate
of
it.
luck.
Best of luck.
What time we guys tee off tomorrow?
1 something.
1?
Yeah, 12.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you out there.
Really
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
The
Appreciate it.
Gooseman and Ezra. Very nice. Thank you. Was it Simon? Simon, I think you're next. I'm ready. You ready? Let's go. Ladies, I think you're coming on right after Simon. If that's good. Let's get both of those knuckleheads together.
Yeah.
Simon. It's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute, it feels like.
Really?
For you to come on the pod? When was the last time you were on? Couple months? I feel like you come on once every 2 months. I feel like it's been 3 months. It's been a little bit of time.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a hot minute.
Maybe 4
Simon,
months. Maybe 4
someone
months.
came in the store today that said they played their practice round with you. Can't remember his name. Really, I apologize. But they said they said they played with you at New London and you absolutely shredded that course.
Oh, the kid, Silas?
Silas, yes.
Yes.
He told me you shot 12 or 13 down.
Silas Schultz?
No, it's not Silas Schultz.
No, Silas Williams, I believe.
Maybe, yeah. I just met him in the store.
Yeah, shout out to him. He is from Mississippi. And young kid, 16, 15 or
He looked
16.
young, yeah.
Jeez.
He's playing Worlds. Pretty awesome. His first
awesome.
Worlds and freaking throws lines out there. I was really impressed. Really fun. And yeah, I shot 13 somehow today.
So the game,
I was gonna say,
game's
I
feeling
don't know.
pretty good.
I think you have the unofficial course record.
It has to be really unofficial because one shot I slipped and basically yanked my disc 90 degrees straight into the woods.
Super unofficial. Yeah, super unofficial.
And I took that mulligan.
Okay, super.
Oh, okay.
Very
Wow.
unofficial.
I didn't realize there was cheating involved. Understood.
It was just a complete slip and
Yeah.
would never happen in a tournament to me.
So you've been out here before, played New London that one time. I don't know if you've played. Did you play it ever again since then?
Nope.
No. Okay. Ivy obviously seeing it for the first time this week.
Yeah.
What do you feel like last year to me, Worlds was who could throw the best putter shot, who could throw the best mid was kind of what Worlds was. This year, it's the exact opposite. There's very few holes that you are throwing putters, and there's very few holes that you're throwing mids. And a lot of par fours too. We're not really throwing, if you throw a good drive, it's not I can just throw a little chippy zone or a chippy putter up there. A lot of these par fours are requiring you to throw 2 full shots. So how do you think that is going to change for the players wise? And how much do you think that's going to change for the spectators watching this Worlds from last?
I don't know. At London, I throw a bunch of mid ranges.
Oh, really? Off the
putters.
tees?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Keep it in the fairway.
Like hole 1, hole 3, for example, come to mind right away.
Sure.
And Ivy, I think, has a good mix. There's some shorter holes where I'm still going to throw a driver just because it has a lot of room to swing shots in on a spiky angle. I really like the vibes out here. Really cool, especially Ivy, the crazy elevation. It won't translate for anyone at home watching. I've seen videos before, and this might be the most extreme place where you don't see the crazy slopes. It's it is crazier than D-Glow, I think. It is just absolute crazy disc golf and so many fun shots, picturesque shots, and gonna keep it in bounds. That's the rule out here.
Yeah, it feels like they complement each other so well. And it's going to be it's one of those courses, and I would love to hear people, because obviously there's always going to be naysayers when it comes to course design and stuff. But I would love to hear people why they don't like certain courses, why they don't like the courses in a certain way. Because to me, I think this is the type of woods golf that we can always have the Idlewilds, we can always have the Wacos, where it's the flukiness. Okay, it's crazy, sure, but to me, it's if you want to see who's the best woods golfer, you got to have courses kind of like New London or W.R. Jackson's also in that, of where there's pure lines where if you hit your line, your shot's going to be good. And it's not this, I'm worried about it hitting this tree in the fairway and kicking me way off to the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I agree, and that's one sad thing about one of the best courses we have in the sport, Northwood Black, which is so close to like the greatest course in the world. I'm just, like I said, like give me a chainsaw and a weekend and just clear like maybe 15 or less trees on the entire course, and it would be just so nice. And yeah, New London, I think nailed it. Good shots, good results. That's all I want. That's all I ask.
I'm hoping too that it's going to film well. Because I think like the wider fairways and keeping the fairways where they're clean, it's going to be easier, I think, for people at home to watch without having too much block, shots and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, woods golf is always hard for spectators to get in there and play. But speaking of your game, how are you feeling going into this week? Obviously, whenever it comes to a big tournament, you're always going to be talked about as one of the favorites. And seeing
especially the majors.
Yeah. Well, seeing your track record all New London and watching you, like hearing people talk about how you played the course, especially when you played it blind, like take yourself out to Ivy. I think everyone's going to think that you're going to play well out there. You got to be feeling good about your chances.
Yeah, I haven't really played well in the last couple months. Ever since I took like this. How long of a break did I take for the baby?
A month or so, yeah.
I think it was like 5 or 6 weeks. Yeah. Ever since then, I've kind of like not put any good tournament together. Couple good rounds here and there, but yeah, I don't know.
There was ever
realistically for me to put 5 great rounds in a row together.
Do you think it's going to take 5 great rounds to win, though? Do you think you can have one like round and still win with 4 good rounds out here?
Well, the 4 good rounds would have to be better than good.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the weather looks perfect in the woods. There's no wind. I think I've barely felt a single breeze out here the entire days I've been here. So if it's like that, just the quality of the players is just too high that.
Yeah, someone's going to go off all 5 rounds.
At least one person.
Here's what I'll say. As a big Simon fan, and I've watched your game, I feel like you're poised for a weekend. Because a lot of times it feels like your win, there's certain weekends where everything clicks, and then it's like, oh, no one can touch him. And, if that would have happened last weekend, I might be going, oh, shoot, he already used it. Haven't used it yet.
That's a good point.
He used it at Music City.
I mean,
maybe here we go again.
That's the game we play. Sometimes you have to be patient. Sometimes you just get a weekend of bad breaks, or you're just like slightly off by a foot here and there, and that'll just kill you on these courses. And I'm patiently waiting, and maybe this is the one.
There you go. Got anything coming up, sponsorship, discs, anything like that to promote?
Not really. We had a cool, fun course opening last weekend.
How was that?
Online. Really cool. Everyone involved absolutely killed it. They just went all in, and after the course design was done like in April this year, and now course opening 4 months later, so they just killed it. It's a beautiful property. It's about 20 minutes south of Maple Hill, so anyone who ever wanted to come to Maple Hill to play, now you have a second reason to come.
There you go.
Probably more than 2 reasons.
That's actually nice.
Now I got a reason to go back.
Really, yeah, just overall fun times in life right now. Can't really complain. Just bought a new house. Just moved.
Nice.
Still in the similar-ish area, but lots of projects ahead. I have 8 acres now. I can build my own little private niner to practice, and maybe that's what I need to elevate my game to that next elite level.
Just have a bunch of stuff in the back. I've always dreamed, like, I think I'm too old now at this point to ever have it happen, but like I would like to just walk out my door and just like that's a tee pad. And
that's what it's going to be.
And I just have like 9 baskets with all different types of shot shapes, and I can just throw and then just walk back inside.
That's exactly what I just invested in.
Okay, well then maybe I might have to take a trip up there because that sounds absolutely glorious. But we appreciate you stopping by, Simon. We wish you the best of luck this week.
What time do you tee off tomorrow?
I'm last card, I believe.
Okay.
I play with Macbeth, Wysocki,
I'll definitely be watching your card.
Defending champion, Issac.
Heck yeah.
So
that is a nice little...
I feel like I'm in the perfect spot to not fail.
All right, brother. Good luck this week. Appreciate you, Simon.
Thanks, guys.
Take it easy.
Good luck.
All right, ladies. Bring it in here. We have Missy, Gannon, Holyn, Handley joining the show now. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Formal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't have long enough arms, but thank you. Oh, I do actually. Never mind. I mean,
Thank you,
that was
guys.
a false excuse this whole time.
All right.
It in me.
The first thing I got to talk about.
Hole 13.
Oh no.
I gotta ask because I've played New London from the shorts because it's actually great practice from shorts and longs when I lived up here. I think New London shorts is a fair course.
Yeah, 100%
Totally agree.
I haven't played shorts from Ivy. is some of the holes a little too long? I've been hearing the scuttlebutt that some of the holes are a little too long. What are your guys' feelings on that?
I personally don't think they're too long. I think there are some OB carries that are going to be really hard for like the bottom half of our field, distance-wise, especially to do. But honestly, most people who are complaining about the length are the same people who still round. And I think there's like room for you to gain some distance, and it's actually our whole job to find those holes in our games and improve on them. So I think it's fine.
And for me, I mean, she's a distance thrower. I'm not a slouch per se, but I do feel like I've had to figure out ways to use my ankle control and figure out what discs are going to get me that easy distance. And so for me, it's working out great, and it's not going to be easy, but it shouldn't be easy. So, I'm going to have to rely on my other skills like my circle 2 putting and things like that we're supposed to know how to do and be able to execute when it comes time.
Yeah, I think you've done a great job, because I've actually seen you gain distance over the last several years. I don't think it's because you're throwing it faster. I think it's you're more comfortable now with the hyzer flip, turn, and getting that full flight. Now, like you said, that's a lot tougher than Holyn being able to throw just a stock hyzer and land in there, but it is what it is. And the one thing I would say that I would love them to do, and I've talked about this before on the podcast, is hole 13, for example, if it does happen to be windy and it's a 15-mile-an-hour headwind, that might be actually challenging for a lot of the field now all of a sudden. So that is one thing that I wish they just had a couple extra tee pads so that way they can look at the weather before and say, hey, it looks like it's going to play headwind, 20-mile-an-hour winds. We're playing from these tees today, guys. And just make a post the night before, whatever. And I think everyone would be okay with that. And that's my only thing with certain course design is because I do think, same thing with like Ledgestone. Sometimes we play Ledgestone hole 1 and it's into a headwind. Like that shot, it's like, do we really want to start everyone off throwing OB?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like go back to Worlds at DDO. Like that was just a terrible hole. Whatever that hole was, what course was that? That was blue course, or what do they call it? Gold course?
Yeah, the Jones Gold.
Yeah, and you have the lead card, feature card, like jump putting off the tee. Like you don't want to see that. So, all right, so that's good to hear that, you guys do think overall the course is pretty fair. What are your takes on a court? Like to me, this is what I want to see Worlds. This is like the ideal World solution. Now, I would wish it was 4 rounds because I don't think giving an advantage to a certain style of play makes any sense, personally. I would love to see 2 at New London, 2 at Ivy, and then it's a fair slate. But what is your take on Worlds having the identity of different than all the majors, because we challenge you in the woods and we challenge you out in the open, angle control, landing zones, OB, all of that. Do you guys like to have that kind of vibe moving forward with Worlds?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to say that someone is the world champion, is the best player in our sport, it should be a complete test of not only all of the skills, but also the physical test, like with how much of a hike the Ivy is going to be, and then the mental fortitude it takes to make it through all of 5 rounds. Like, yeah, I think exactly what you said. This is the best way to choose your world champion.
I think that more and more often, especially now that we have Elite Plus events where similar style, where typically we have 2 courses that are somewhat complementing each other, it's hard to say, okay, add 1 more round in for World Championships and make it feel different than our Elite Plus events now. So I do feel like, if we talk to some of the OG players, they used to have to play 7, 8 rounds.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we should go back to that, but I mean, maybe to even it out a little bit, maybe it would be 6 rounds. Again, it might be a hot take, but then you would get that more even disbursement of playing on both the courses.
Yeah, my only reason to shy away from that is more on the the production side and the fan side. Like a 6-round tournament, I think then you get a lot of people that are just I'm just gonna start paying attention to the last 3.
Totally.
So then we're spending all this money on all this production, all that, and then include what if we had. What if Portland held it? Are we now having to pay 3 times to play out there at that golf course? So there's obviously complications there. You two, I would say I'd put you guys in the top favorites list for sure, but I think I'd put you in the most likely to beat Kristen. And let's all be real, right? Like Kristen, obviously right now with what her track record has been, she is the odds-on favorite to win this tournament, right? Sure. But there has been a little bit of some cracks in the armor, if you will, this year. How are you guys feeling, is there a difference going into this Worlds than there was maybe last year where it just felt like no one was going to be able to beat Kristen unless she played bad? How does that feel this year? Is there different feelings?
And did y'all actually feel that way last year?
I mean, I would say maybe I felt that way towards the end of Worlds because as you might remember, I was giving her a pretty good run for her money. So maybe I kind of felt the weight of the situation, and I should have ignored it. But I think this year, especially given maybe for my own personal, I've had a really good season. I've had 4 wins already, 1 major. I've won in Estonia. So I feel like I feel like that sort of cloud hanging over our head is
lifted a little bit?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I've always enjoyed playing with Kristen, and like we've played so many rounds together that it just doesn't carry the same weight as maybe other people might feel. But I still respect everything about what she's done, and it's still an honor to like play among her and all of the other European players, and so I think it might feel a little lighter nowadays.
Nice. Holyn, what about you?
Yeah, and I think for me, it feels a little different because I definitely have a lot more confidence as a player going into this Worlds. Like going into last Worlds, I didn't have any wins yet, and now I've got 3. And I've gone head-to-head with all the top players, including Kristen, a number of times, and I've seen that I can beat Kristen. Even at Music City, where we were neck and neck the whole time, I felt like I lost it at the end by like being in the wrong headspace and trying to like make stuff happen. And so I feel like because I've kind of learned from that, and I know that I just need to stay focused on what I'm doing and keep the moment small and manageable, I think it's definitely possible.
With the field on the FPO side being, really top heavy, right? It's not filled out as much as the MPO side, but we're seeing growth year after year of new players coming in of where it's like, Emily Weatherman, she wasn't around. Sai Ananda, she wasn't around. Like new players coming in, taking wins, getting in contention. What are you guys feeling like? Do you think this World is going to be one where it's like come Sunday, you don't know what's going to happen, or is it going to be a tournament? Because I feel like with FPO, it's one or the other. It's either it could be these 2 people to win or these 3 people to win, or it's everyone's playing for second when it comes to Sunday, right? What do you feel like this tournament's going to be? Do you think it's going to come down the wire, or do you think someone's going to pull away?
I mean, I kind of hope it comes down to the wire just because that's more exciting for people to watch. With it being a bit more of a distance-heavy 2 courses, I feel like there's maybe, I can think of like 6 to 8 people who might be in that mix. Come Sunday, but I'm hoping it's a lot tighter than it's been.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I wonder too. It's kind of hard. I love the fact that we don't know what the scores are going to look like on either of these courses. We don't have any history really for our whole field. So that's always kind of a cool mystery of like what's going to happen. But I feel like because of the difficulty of both courses, it's going to be one of those situations where the cream does rise to the top, I think. So I do think that you're going to see some of your typical favorites kind of hanging out near the top. And I hope that it's a battle all the way to the end. And I think that given the 2 courses and the amount of, not luck, but like the OB possibilities.
Yeah,
and making
one stroke this way, one stroke that way.
I think that anything could really happen, but I do think that you're going to see the top players be at the top.
I was going to ask you just brought up the scores, not knowing history-wise out here. Through your practice rounds, what do you think across 5 rounds it's going to take to win this thing?
I don't know if you have any
I'm so bad at guessing scores. I always give people either way too much credit or not enough. And then I'll be like, oh, it's got to be 9 down. And then, like, I thought Ledgestone for sure everyone was going to shoot 10 down, and no one did. But, I mean, I think...
I shot 10 down. But I didn't win, so... Did it was 9?
It was 9.
Holyn made sure she had the receipts.
Yeah, she brought the receipts.
And also, like you said, you didn't win, so... But jokes aside, I don't know the double digits is going to happen on these courses.
Yeah.
I feel like around 6 or 7 would be pretty good, and I feel like if you could average that over 5, like you've got a pretty good shot.
So you're putting it close to like 30 under, roughly.
Yeah, something like that.
I can agree with that. I don't really keep score when I practice. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to get the birdie, or game plan for other, potentially par. But most of the time, just trying to see if I can birdie every hole. But yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, again, you're in the woods. Anything could really happen. Although the fairways are fair, and I think that if you're hitting your lines, you're going to be just fine. But that's easier said than done. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love these courses because I feel like a major test shouldn't be a course where it's like if you play well, you shoot 14 under, no bogeys. Or if you play bad, you shoot 8 under, no bogeys. Like, to me, that's not really a great test. Even though it's 6 shots, I want to see people get a bogey. How do you react? Get a double. How do you react? And I think out here it's going to be very challenging for someone to go out and shoot 7 under, 7 birdies, no bogeys, right? I think there's going to be holes where you're going to get a bad kick or you're going to throw a bad shot and throw an OB shot, and you're going to have to play for par or play for bogey and see how it happens. But final question I have for you. Are we seeing skip shots by any FPO player on hole 17 at Ivy this year?
I actually intended to practice that today, and I forgot to
Oh, no.
try it.
Oh, no.
I just wanted to see if it would work, but then I forgot.
People have been talking about it. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do it. No, there's guys that are definitely doing it.
Gannon claimed he's doing it. We'll ask him here in a minute.
Honestly, I feel like that's like not a bad way to.
That's what they're saying.
To check up on speed.
Yeah.
It's really hard to land on that. I threw perfect shots, and they all leaked out the back.
Yeah.
Every single time. It was almost buzzing the basket, and then it was just gone. So I don't know how far I could even potentially, throw close to the water to be able to get it to stop. So I don't know. I kind of don't really know what I'm doing on that hole, honestly, but.
Yeah, I didn't even consider a skip shot. My plan is if I'm going for it, I'm just throwing a buzz right at the chains and hoping for the best. And
hope it hits the basket?
Yeah,
if I'm not
pretty
going
much.
for it, then I'm just going to chip a little swarm to the landing zone and be super lame and boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was one of the course notes they did not decide to take me up on, because I was like, you got to put we got to have a 16 at DDO of a back wall, or just some hay bales or something to where a good shot doesn't skip and go off. If you hit the island, that's a freaking good shot from there, right? So,
totally.
I mean, we're landing a window of 10 feet, 300 plus feet away.
Very small.
That's tough to do. So, all right. Did you have anything else?
My only other one was, y'all were talking about how you're attacking. Ricky was in here, and he was saying there's several holes he is playing for par. Do y'all have many holes like that in your mind that going in, you're like, this is a par hole, I'm not even trying for birdie, or is it just all gas, no brakes?
I don't think I have any holes where I might play, except for maybe 17, depending on the situation. That might be the only one. I don't.
Is that an easy chip shot too? You can't mess it up? Okay.
Yeah, if I just go Spikeiser.
Okay. I didn't know how big the landing zone is.
It's pretty
It's pretty
big.
favorable. Honestly, I got up there and I was like, oh, we're back to the Triple Island hole at Vegas.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it felt like.
A little dink again.
Yeah, I think same for me. I think only hole 17 is one that I'm going to kind of see what the situation is. If I have a really good round going, I might just play it for par, or maybe that'll give me the confidence to go for it, and if I can sacrifice a potential bogey. But other than that, I don't think so. I think I'm trying to attack everything.
Awesome. Love it. Can't wait to see it. All right, you guys tee off time-wise tomorrow?
9:30, 9:10. So
on coverage?
Feature card and second feature card.
There you have it. All right, well, we thank you guys so much for stopping by. I know the chat loves it, and good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, guys. Take care. Thank you. All right. Who else we got? What?
Hooligans.
Oh, perfect timing.
Yeah. Perfect timing. We will send it off to our sponsor.
All right. Have you guys ever gotten spam calls? If you're like me, you get them all the time, constantly, and they've gotten worse over the years. Not just the amount of spam calls I get, but they're getting more clever. They'll use area codes that look like they would be calls I would be getting from maybe my hometown or where I live. They've gotten smart at this thing, and they are super annoying. I mean, sometimes I'll literally leave the room, interrupt my life to try and answer one of these things just to realize it's a spam call. They are absolutely the worst. Now, I know one of the reasons I get so many spam calls is because big companies can't keep our data safe. Recently, AT&T revealed that nearly all their customers' call and text records have been exposed in a massive data breach. The stolen logs also contain a record of every number AT&T customers called or texted. So even if you don't use AT&T, if someone who texted you did, then your number has been exposed. So what can you do to protect yourself? That's where Aura, the sponsor of today's video, comes in. Aura will alert me if they find my phone number or any other sensitive information has been compromised, and they give me fast fraud alerts if anyone tries to use that data to access my credit card or bank accounts. Aura also does so much more to keep my family safe too. I get things like transaction monitoring, a VPN, antivirus, a password manager, parental controls, and identity theft insurance. You can get all this on one app at one affordable price. What I'm most excited about is their AI-powered call assistant that picks up unknown calls on my behalf to screen them for spam or scams. The AI forwards legitimate calls to me so I don't miss my appointments and emergencies, and it protects me from harmful text messages by filtering out known spam numbers and scanning links in the message for phishing threats. If you don't want to leave yourself or your family vulnerable to data breaches, you can go to aura.com/foundation and try out your first 2 weeks for free. It's also linked below in the description. That's aura.com/foundation. Thanks again to Aura for sponsoring this episode.
All righty. Well, this is an interesting duo. We have past world champion Isaac Robinson and probably the favorite Gannon Buhr. You think Isaac's the favorite?
From what I've seen this week.
Oh, insider info. Isaac, would you say the same? You're the favorite.
Practice rounds have been feeling pretty good.
Oh.
I was telling, I've had the chance to play a few rounds. Now, most of them have not been serious rounds with him, but I forget, I think it was Robbie had said something about Isaac's distance maybe holding back. I was like, I don't think you understand. He throws far.
Isaac
like, if people sleep on your distance.
I don't want to throw Robbie under the bus when I say this. I don't want to throw Robbie under the bus and lump him in. There are a lot of people on the internet that talk about disc golf that know nothing.
Wow.
That know nothing.
Robbie.
There's a lot.
How's life under the bus?
I'm not throwing Robbie in there. I'm not throwing Robbie
You're
in
saying
there.
other people than Robbie.
Sure.
Sounds like he's under the bus.
But no, there's a lot of people that like just say stuff, and it's like you have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I don't think Robbie's in that situation at all.
No. That's what I'm saying. I don't want just because of that one take. I don't want to take him in there. That was just a bad take.
Seemed like you were taking him there, but I was going to say
that's just a bad take.
Did Isaac
he's defending himself.
Isaac and Ezra's distance don't come across on camera the way he does in person. I think there's probably a lot of pros that fall into that category.
Well, because he doesn't have a 40-foot run-up?
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyways.
Sleepy power is all I'm trying to say.
So you're claiming you're the favorite. You think?
Well,
you feel good coming in as the favorite.
Practice rounds have been going well.
Yeah.
He knows he's going to win, but he just doesn't want to say it.
Yeah, no, it's these courses. Like when you think of a course setup that would favor your style of play, like these are the ones that go. Because in my opinion, like New London, obviously Paul Macbeth designed it. Mm-hmm. He's not going to really design a course that has a bunch of holes that he sucks at. Right?
Yeah.
That would be kind of a dumb thing to do. Right?
Yep.
So a lot of them are backhand holes, putter, mid, or fairway for a lot of them, and very like specific kind of hyzer flip, keep it in the fairway type of shots, which I would say you probably are one of the best in the world.
I do enjoy that. I do enjoy it.
And then you go to Ivy, and Ivy is like kind of like Portland D-Glow Baby is kind of how I view Ivy a little bit, right? It's got the length of Portland, but it's got the elevation with D-Glow, and then maybe even throw like USDGC in there with the OB, and it's kind of like a little mixture of those three. Yeah. So like, first off, what are your thoughts? Because I know initially I heard that you hated the courses.
Whoa, hated's very strong.
Both courses.
I heard it.
Okay.
I heard it. Okay,
Who said courses?
Okay, I heard that you did not like Ivy.
Okay.
Initially,
and you said it started growing on you.
It's gotten slightly better.
So what are your complaints here? Let's talk it out here.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the hills, and I kind of get flashbacks to D-Glow. If you know. Our group just doesn't like D-Glow at all.
I hate that place.
Oh, dang on.
I don't know. I don't know what it was. I just didn't really love it that much. I think the first time I played it, I played kind of 4, 5, 6 that stretch back to back to back. 4, I hadn't really figured out what the shot was. I think it's like a spike hyzer that maybe bounces over the hay bales, but there's a lot.
4 is not a great hole.
Yeah, I'm not like a huge fan of 4. 5, I think, is a very bad hole.
Really?
I think
5 is terrible.
I think there's only 10 people in the world that can reach that hole, and probably only 2 of them are going to get the hole, in my opinion.
So 5 is, for those that don't know, here we go. Silas, obviously, best producer in the house.
Let's go.
That's so fast.
5, so the elevation from, you can see the tee boxes, right? Those are the golf tee boxes, the light green. I would say between each tee box, the elevation's probably about 30 feet.
It's a lot.
And it's literally like a slow, gradual incline. And then as you get to the tee box, it gets even steeper. So ideally, you land it on that 3rd tee box. Now, I've done it once.
Whoa.
What?
Big hyzer guy.
Yeah, come on. Who are you talking to?
You've always been a big hyzer guy.
Yeah, thank you.
Always.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is like, you kind of have to have the ultimate frisbee throw to get it there, because it is a flippy. To get it there, you have to throw a flippy disc on a lot of hyzer.
And like almost inside, I feel like.
Yes, you have to almost miss that tree. You have to almost miss that tree.
Yeah.
That tree, honestly, has also grown out since the last time I played it, which I think has made it a lot harder to get up there, because the one practice round I had out there, I was like 10 feet short.
Okay.
And if you're short of there, you are now throwing on like a 30-degree incline.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like the distance almost isn't the problem. It's just the footing. Like,
It's so hard to get the power.
Yeah.
Because it's not that far of a shot, but to get the power. So I agree with you there. Honestly, guys, I almost would love for them to move that tee back to where make it a 3-shot hole, to where you land on like the lower tier. Land it like a good shot lands on that first tee pad, and then the second shot you can push into how far you want to get aggressive wise, and then move the basket like further back and make it like an actual par 5 3-shotter.
You're in that guy's backyard then.
Yeah,
you'd be in the backyard.
Well, can't you go left though?
Technically, if you went back right, it's like into the driving range. You go like right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I agree with you. That hole's not great.
I like the shot of the flex forehand into the green if the distance is right for it. So if you were to make it a par 5, I like that gap you can kind of see in that OB. It's
a nice gap.
That little circle of OB up by the basket. Most of the players I feel like on the tour right now are going to go between that circle of OB and the right OB. That's pretty much what I'm going to do if I'm not in perfect position, just kind of chip a forehand up there
and
chip another forehand up there, or Isaac will throw a turnover back into the green. But yeah, if you move that tee pad back, like I think there might be some woods on the left too you could maybe use. I'm not sure what the property line
like
is.
a little gap shot out?
The original plan that must have fallen through was kind of where the Innova logo is. They were going to build a deck in there.
Okay.
And that was where the tee was originally going to be.
So then you could actually get.
It would have been farther back, and it probably would have played exactly like you said. But is this a hole both of y'all are looking at, and you're just thinking all 3 rounds out there, par?
You're not going to lose strokes to
You're
anybody.
probably not upset.
No. Yeah.
The worst thing you do is to try to
get to that next one and not make it.
Or you throw with not enough hyzer, and now you flip it over and you're OB right. It's a guaranteed bogey at best. If you're short right, you're getting a bogey.
I'm just telling myself, unless I'm literally on that flat, I'm not going to go for it. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, makes sense.
The next hole they ruined. The next hole I thought was good. If you want to go there, Silas. So it's hard to see.
That is not what it looks like.
Yeah, very hard to see.
I think that's what it used to look like.
I think that is. It's very hard to see exactly what the hole is now, but where all your shots are landing that are good, and you're like, I'm 45 feet short, 50 feet short, that's where the pin was.
Okay.
And so it was a good hole, because that is a landing zone that we can hit with good shots.
Well, then I like it being with the OB being tight.
Correct.
How it was. They actually ended up moving the left line, I think 10, 15 feet left. There's a little bubble about circle's edge short left that they opened up a little bit. But yeah, because I've been throwing good shots and landing there. But when you throw a shot that actually gets to the basket, you almost always go be long left.
It's impossible. It's too downhill.
Well, and the mental problem too is the cart path on the right. Like if you hit right of the path, 0 chance of getting in bounds.
Yeah.
You just never go in bounds. And this isn't a super accurate picture of the hole.
No.
Because it has to be a hyzer. There is no straight shot to get it to land soft. The only way to land it soft is kind of like a nose-up putter that almost stalls backwards a little bit in a way.
And that's a scary shot to throw downhill.
But it's just like the percentage of that happening and, having it, you're hanging that putter over the right side OB. I've done it before where it just doesn't hyzer in time. And then you're taking it way back, still trying to save your bogey. You could easily double from there. So, I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan.
It's not a great stretch. 4, 5, and 6 is not a great stretch.
I think that's why I kind of had a bad outlook on the course, was because I think 3 holes on a course that are not great, especially when they're in a row, can just throw off the whole vibe.
Yeah,
like, oh, another terrible hole, another terrible hole.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of have that feeling about it. But, I enjoy, I think, the most of the back nine. I didn't love 14 at all or 17 at all, really. I think 17's a little fluky.
Are you still going skip shot off the water?
I think I'm just throwing an air shot that gets lucky through the branches.
What are you guys doing on 16? Is that a different game plan depending on the round?
I'm going to park it like I did in practice.
There you go.
You parked a roller?
No, I didn't really. I put a roller within 250.
Oh, that's pretty
So
good.
I'll be going roll on that hole.
So they did this little cutout that didn't exist when they first had this course set up for us.
I like it a lot.
So it does make you have to make a decision on, are you laying up short and then you're playing like kind of 350-foot shots basically, or are you guys going air shot to clear it?
Just roller. I will only throw a roller. I threw like a couple pretty good air shots that I did throw one air shot that was like crazy aggressive that I'm not going to do again. It was a Sky Annie and I cleared it by like 100 and something feet, but my roller easily cleared as long as I hit the angle good. I'm trying to get it to go like 400 feet in the air before it even hits the ground.
I love those.
And then just roll. I was like 60 feet past the FPO pin on that hole, so I was super happy with that. Obviously, if it's a headwind, I probably will lay up short and just take the par. And Isaac, what are your thoughts?
It's an easy par. I cleared the OB one time in practice, and then
with a perfect shot.
With a perfect shot, and I'm just laying up. It's
Do
pretty
you feel
easy
like
par.
holes like that where someone might get baited into going aggressive, where they're gonna? Do you feel like that like gives you an advantage where you're like, oh, I'm playing golf here, and I know every time I'm taking my par versus Gannon might be like, I'm sending it, and if he gets it all three, great.
Yeah, I think the people who do birdie it, there's going to be a handful.
Yeah.
But I'll gain strokes on them somewhere else in the course.
Nice.
So this is a hole I'm just playing smart.
Now, Gannon, as you go into like course prep, how important is your feelings about a course like to performance? Like, is it something where when you're like, I don't really know how I feel about a course, is that something you like actively try to change, or are you just like, it is what it is, I can still shred it?
So I did think a little bit in the past that, maybe if I had a bad thought about the course or my feelings about a course, that I will play bad in the event. And I kind of proved myself wrong this year at a Beaver State Fling.
Okay. I
haven't been a huge fan of the Milo course, especially the layout that they chose. I feel like they, used a lot of bad holes that they had for 2023, was it? And they kind of kept a lot of the terrible ones for 2024. And I know it's tough because it's a state park and you cut certain things. So, maybe it's not their fault, but it doesn't change the course. It's still, there's a lot of like bad holes. I think it was like hole 5 or something. I had that like really stupid OB in the creek.
15
was a kind of a very tough hole, which actually was huge for me in the tournament. I was able to birdie that, but I think there was only 3 birdies the whole day. And so it just doesn't create good score separation. But I ended up winning the Beaver State Fling this year. So I think it doesn't matter what my opinion is on a course. I think I can play good. I mean, having a good mental game is like, you can't let that affect your play. Like, that's got to be rule number 1 in your mind, is like that you can't let that mess with, the shots you're throwing. And, you can't be blaming the course, even if, maybe you did get a little bit unlucky, because you're kind of just putting you in a bad mindset. So I'm going to put that behind me. I think it's a decent course for Ivy. I think New London is easily in my top 10, possibly my top 5 courses. London is just amazing. I'd love to see Champions Cup there if they end up switching it. Hopefully they do.
I don't know why they didn't do that there.
There's still time. But, I mean, New London's a beautiful course. Beautiful course.
So great. All right, Isaac, we were talking about this a little bit earlier on debate night, which will come out on Thursday. Make sure you guys tune in.
Wednesday.
It's come out on Wednesday this week. Make sure you guys tune in. If you win, you will join a very illustrious group. I think the only players to ever go back-to-back at Worlds, Ken Climo, Paul Macbeth, Ricky Wysocki.
Yep.
I think that's it. So, winning...
And
NPO, yes. Winning last year, obviously, after you already won Champions Cup, crazy season, awesome, great. But if you win this year and go back-to-back, what does that do for you? Like, how does that make you feel going into the rest of the season? How does that make you feel? I mean, this is a contract year, too, I believe, which is That would be kind of nice as well.
That would be huge.
So yeah, so just walk me through the emotions, because I know if you are in contention, that has to be something that's in the back of your head of, holy crap, I might be one of the only people that ever do this.
Yeah, and that's, I think with the talent these days, it's going to be even harder to do.
For sure.
As years go on. So that would be really cool to kind of put your name in there as, somebody who's done that. And that is on, there's a lot of thoughts in my mind this week, but that is definitely one of them. Contract year is pretty big. And I think as far as the season goes, it would just be, I would consider this season a success. It hasn't been my best season. It also hasn't been my worst season yet. So really just trying to work on my game all year and, winning Worlds or even winning USDGC or, even Green Mountain. Like any of those I would consider successful season. And I think my game is kind of trending, in the right direction at the right time. My past 3 finishes have been in the top 6, I think. And so I'm feeling really good heading into this week, and there's a lot of excitement about just what could happen.
Love that. All right. For those that don't know, you guys have a pretty big group, if you will. You post on social media, you post on YouTube. You got you two, Ezra, Gavin, Alden. Am I missing anyone? Is there a new person?
There's I don't know, stragglers, I'd say.
Yeah.
But those are the core 5.
Core five.
How many people in the group are finishing in the top 10 this week?
Ooh.
How many of those 5? You don't have to say that 5. You don't say. You have to say who
3.
it's going to be.
I'm gonna go 3 to 4.
I like
3.
3. I like
3, possibly 4.
Ooh.
I don't think it can be
Clean
all 5.
sweep 5?
I don't think it can be 5, unfortunately.
It just can't happen.
It just
can't happen.
I don't know.
Impossible.
Has that ever happened? All 5 of y'all in the top 10?
We've had 4 in the top 3.
Yeah, we've got 4
That's
podiums.
That's electric.
We had a big.
Yeah.
I won Des Moines, and then Gavin, Ezra, and you got.
I got second,
third, and third.
and Gavin and Ezra got
What is with Gavin and Des Moines? Do you guys know? What
the
is
home
it with,
crowd.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It just,
I think it's a good course for him because it has a lot of forehand shots, and he's amazing at those. And obviously, me and him have been playing there for 7 years at this point.
because he's had good finishes, but it's like whenever Des Moines goes around, he's going to be in contention.
Yep.
Like it's just guaranteed.
Gavin's had a very low-key, impressive year. I feel like
last year too, though. Last year
Last year kind of broke out of he can actually be in contention for an event. This year, I think he's 14th in tour points. No one's talking about that.
No, when everyone talks about who's the next guy that doesn't have a win, who's the next one that needs to win, his name never gets brought up.
He should start to be brought in this conversation. I think he's 1032 rated, which is top 20 rated in the world.
What's that jumped almost 20 points from last year?
He's
Jeez.
looking at some stats right now, but he's his ratings. It's pretty much never dropped. It's always just gone up since he joined the tour. I think 2022 he was a 10-11 golfer, even 10-07 early 2022, and already being a 10-32 right now. To go up that many points is pretty crazy, especially on the pro tour.
And his Achilles, I think, has always been putting inside the circle when the pressure's on.
Yeah,
he seems to have always I just remember watching coverage of he's kind of had a great stretch of holes. He's starting to make a push, and then he has a 20-footer that he throws off the cage.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
If that goes away, then all of a sudden it's he can be dangerous here in the thing. So I think these courses too, especially with New London, some of those holes out there, I love his game for that course as well.
He played it really well at Bower for Bedford a few years ago.
Yeah, he was out here for
21
that.
maybe.
You're right.
Yeah.
He was out
first
here
year
for
on
that.
tour. That was.
Yeah.
But he's already got a 4th at OTB, 5th at Las Vegas, 2 7ths at Beaver State and Jonesboro, 8th at DDO, 9th at European Open, the major. So
yeah, tons of top 10s.
A lot of top 10s. Hasn't quite really cracked the top 5 except for that one time, but. I mean,
that's what I was waiting for. I knew Edwin was going to fire
I'd be scared.
Edwin's in house, by the way.
Edwin's
Shout out to
in-house.
Edwin. Edwin Stats in house.
Gannon was coming for his job a little bit there, so I was just waiting for Edwin to fire one in there. Gavin Babcock's average finish last year was 45th. This year, 25th.
Wow.
Up 20 spots.
45th?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
this
barely
year,
cashing.
25th. That's crazy.
That is impressive stuff.
Big jump.
Very
Now,
nice.
Isaac, so your brother obviously is having a very solid year as well. I'm very, very competitive with my brother, also the younger sibling. Is that something where if you see Ezra get off hot, do you have an extra competitive drive when you see your brother's name ahead of you? Or is it just I want to win, there's nothing more to it?
Yeah, there's always if I
that.
see it, if I see his name ahead of mine, I'm chasing him down or gonna try to. It's been hard this year, but yeah, he's having a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's been great. Now, with both of you, obviously, last year's world champ, the dude who's won, I think, 4 of the 5 4-round events or something like that, the current favorite.
Second, we'll grab you on a second.
You know, with both of you coming into the event, a lot of noise surrounding. Is there anything like y'all do to block that out and just be like, I'm here just to play disc golf? Is there any type of routine of like nerves high or anything like that you just like
Lego building?
Shut it up and get to golf?
Dice golf.
Dice golf.
Dice golf. What the heck is that?
Oh,
it's the new thing.
The best game ever. We've been
Is it
playing.
the actual new thing?
It's the new thing for us.
Yes, it's the new thing. I was gonna make a YouTube video on it.
Okay.
I'll have to watch it.
It's gonna be out on YouTube somewhere soon, hopefully, because everyone needs to experience the joy of it.
Okay.
And how unfair
of it,
and the
actually.
pain, but also the success.
Oh.
Sounds like golf.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but it's
crazy.
It's dice, so
We've been
there's
playing,
no
we
skill
do
involved.
$5 money games. Like,
heck yeah.
you know, we have like 4 or 5 people playing. So like first gets like $10, second gets their money back, and third and fourth pay or something like that. And it's so fun because it's like it's so unfair.
What's the dynamic when like everyone has a good round and someone doesn't? What's that dynamic?
Well,
Is there
one
anyone?
person doesn't talk very much that
Yeah,
night.
they hide in their room all night.
Okay, so is it pretty much across the board? Everyone reacts the same way if they play bad, or is there some people that you know like we're just not going to see that person the rest?
I'd
of the
say
night?
some get frustrated and some get quiet. I'd say
Okay.
that's like the mix.
I get sad.
Yeah.
I'd say I get sad, or no, Isaac gets sad. Alden gets quiet.
He gets very
and then I'd say
quiet.
like Ezra, me and Gavin get mad. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's always an interesting dynamic when you have like other people and you're like playing really well, and then they come back and you're just kind of like,
Well,
Like, what do I say? Especially that's like if you played a great round and
Yes.
your friend played like 6 over, it's like,
you don't really want to be like, dude, this course was sick.
I played awesome today. I banged all these putts.
Yeah.
It's like, what'd you do? I was like, I throw B in the first 5 holes.
Do you guys have anything coming up disc-wise, anything like that for the people?
Color Glow Horizon Sea Line Cloudbreaker dropping tomorrow.
Ooh.
Discmania store.
Okay.
Check it out. It's I'd say more AM-friendly Cloudbreaker. Plastic's a little bit softer. They all have a nice small dome on them. And, yeah, I can get a little bit of flip out of them. And I think people, 350 to 400-foot range are going to like them.
Trevor was crushing his today.
Yeah.
That was the one he kept getting us in position with.
Okay.
He was throwing it good.
Good to see. Good to see.
Isaac, you got anything coming up?
No.
No?
Okay.
No.
Might change after this week, though.
Yeah.
Might change after-
Hopefully we have another World's Disc
2X.
drop.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, well, we appreciate you guys. Always fun having you guys on the
Appreciate it.
pod. Good luck this week. See you guys out there. What time do you guys tee?
3:15.
The one before that.
Okay, so
2:55.
second card, lead card,
Yep.
or featured, second featured?
Yep.
Whatever it's called. All right, sweet. Good luck out there, boys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take it easy. All right. Well, can I say? I'll say it in front of their faces. We saved the best for last. I'll say it right in front of their faces. I'm not afraid.
I'm dying getting out of here.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a little tall. It's a little tight for the tall people.
Yeah.
We've got, come on in. Which one do you want? You can sit there if that's easiest for you to come out, Calvin. Appreciate you stopping by. Always.
Appreciate it. Virtual shake.
There's a little bit more of a serious setting than normal.
Yeah.
But I figured, it's Worlds. We gotta get into Foundation HQ. We gotta make it serious. So Calvin's joined the show, fan favorite obviously on the podcast as well. How we doing? How we feeling?
Feeling good. I made it here. I said I would be here like an hour ago.
No, there was no time. I said 8. I said 8 between 8 and 10. It's 9:03.
There's literally
You're
been
in
no
the window.
breaks. If you would have showed up earlier, it would have just been.
It would have been actually more
So it's
chaos.
perfect.
So this is actually perfect for us.
All right. Well, it worked out. Yeah, I just completely forgot. I was just out there. Yeah, got some little bit of extra practice in out at New London, and then
Nice.
threw some putts, and then I was trying to figure out dinner when you texted me, and I was like, okay.
All right, fair enough. Very nice. First time in Lynchburg.
Yep.
First time playing the courses.
Yep.
There's been some chatter always when we play new courses. The player group on Facebook always, people complaining about something. What are your thoughts? Do you think that this is going to be a great Worlds test coming up?
Yeah, I think you have two very different and very challenging courses. So I think that's, kind of what you're always looking for in a world championship. I think you have New London, which kind of challenges some different hyzer flip and technical lines in the woods, and then you get out to Ivy Hill, and it's definitely more open, and there's a lot of out of bounds, so you still have to like place your disc, but there's a lot more airspace to play with. But really tight greens out there, so I think it'll be pretty exciting. I think you really do have to throw well at this tournament in order to score well, which I don't know if it's always the case. So
yeah. Now, one of our top videos that we've ever done, Calvin was actually in it. It was worst shot triples at Northwood Black. Fan favorite. People loved it. Now, Ezra and Aaron wanted to do that again this year at New London. So we basically traded out Calvin for Aaron. Now, I love Aaron. Calvin's better than Aaron. We shot like 8 under. So that kind of tells me, though, I think them taking out the OB on some of these holes was a mistake, personally. I know you haven't played it with the OB.
Yeah.
Do you think New London is difficult enough right now? Or would you, if I told you, hey, hole 1, 2, and 3 normally are a lot harder. Hole 13?
12.
Hole 12, normally a lot harder. If I told you those things, would you say like, oh, I'm all for it? Or do you think the level of difficulty, you like it the way it is? You like what the changes they did? Hole 18, they did make harder too.
Hole 18 is a lot harder.
They normally don't have OB on both sides. So they did make that hole harder. But that hole was hard to kind of begin with anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's hard to say without playing it and really knowing where those OB lines were before. So it's hard to really make a judgment. Right now, I mean, I do think some of the more scoreable holes are right there at the beginning of the course out at New London. Like, one pretty scoreable, 2's hard still. It's just long.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you got 3 and 4.
Right
so
there.
I think some of the more scoreable holes are early. I don't know what they would have had on 12, just OB on the left.
So it's OB right there on the left.
Yeah.
So a lot. I played with Ezra and Aaron, and they both threw like hyzers through the gap on the right.
Yeah.
You would never throw a hyzer because you're so terrified of it going left in OB. Because then you also can also not have a putt over there. So the shot normally is always like a flex backhand through that gap, which I think is a harder shot. And that also brings the OB in on the right. Because if you flex something too much, then it clips those trees on the right and drops the OB. So it just makes, to me, it's just, I don't think it necessarily makes the holes harder for like good shots. But we all know when you have OB on a hole, it's in your head and you're like, I can't miss there. So you end up missing more to the open side. And so that's my whole thing about it.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely sounds like those holes are going to play a little easier, but I mean, you're still going to have to.
They're still tough. Yeah.
You still got to throw good shots, and I think regardless of those changes, I mean, there's just a lot of gaps to hit out there. So I think someone who's playing well out there, regardless of how those holes, like if they were going to throw the other holes well, they're probably going to throw
play this with
those ones well as well.
The gaps are fair though too. I do enjoy myself some fair gaps of where it's just that if you throw a good shot, it's kind of like sometimes you throw a shot and you don't have to look at it. Like you can just turn away because you know exactly what's going to happen. Sometimes we play courses where it's like you kind of have to watch the entire flight. Because you're like, I hope it misses that one tree. Like New London, there's very few holes, if any, where it's like you throw, if you throw a good shot out of your hand, it's going to be solid. So I like that about it. All right, going into this tournament, let's talk about it a little bit. Do you start feeling, as each major comes up, do you start feeling more and more and more pressure coming up of, is this the one that I'm going to win? Is this the one I'm going to win? Because it'd be crazy for anyone to bet. Like if there was a bet out there, over under 0.5, Calvin winning a major, I think everyone's taking the over, right? So, I'm sure you have some haters. I'm sure there's some. I'm sure there's 4 or 5 people out there that are hoping that you never win. But I would assume most people, with your skill level, your talent, you're going to finally get one. So does it start piling up leading into tournaments like this? Do you feel that, or are you just like, hey, if I go out there and I play my game, I'm going to win. If I go out there and I don't play well, I'm going to lose. And it is what it is.
Yeah, I guess I don't tend to look at big picture too much.
Okay.
all I can really control when I'm coming into this tournament is how I prep for it and, how everything goes at the tournament. I'm pretty much just focused on every tournament I play individually. So I can't say there's any more pressure. I mean, It's a major, so there's obviously a little more there. It's a bigger tournament. I mean, we're playing a 5-round tournament, which is the only 5-round tournament we play all year. Yeah, I can't say just as time goes on, there's more.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough to do though. A lot of people, obviously we're all gonna be nervous. We're always all gonna have those butterflies on hole one. It happens at every tournament. You're gonna feel a little nervous, right? I think as the tournament goes on, obviously the pressure definitely builds. But what it sounds like you're saying is you're not coming into this tournament being this is the most important tournament of my entire life. You almost kind of go into every tournament that way. So it's not this new feeling of this one is even bigger because every tournament you're saying tomorrow, one day, I'm going out there, I'm trying to play as best as I can tomorrow. And then after that, I'll see where I'm at and we'll go from there. I think that's tough for a lot of people to just make it that simple. I think a lot of people are worrying about, what are people going to say if I don't win this thing? It's bro, you haven't even played the first round yet.
Now, across the past several seasons, you've been one of, if not the most consistent players. Is that something where when you see 5 rounds ahead of you that you get excited about you got to be consistent across multiple rounds? Or is it a similar thing where you're just I'm attacking the next round and then the round after that and I'll cross that bridge when it gets there?
Yeah, I think every round, you're just out there trying to attack it the best you can. And, you're not really focused too much on your score until it's really coming down the final stretch. So if you do have a chance and you are in contention. But yeah, you do have to be consistent to some degree to win Worlds. But even beyond consistent, you have to play really well for 5 rounds. It's not just being consistent. You can shoot 1050 golf and you can lose this tournament. So.
Yeah, Champions Cup this year, you could have an off round and still win. Do you think that's the case at this one? Do you think you can have an off round and still win if you play well the other 4? Or do you think there is going to be someone that just doesn't have an off round?
I guess it depends on what you define as an off round. I don't think you can completely just blow up on a round, but I don't think you have to shoot. I think you could have one round where you shoot mediocre.
Okay. 6 shots off the leaders kind of thing.
Yeah, I think you can still battle back. I think there's definitely strokes to be gained out at New London, and then there's plenty of OB at Ivy Hill to where you can gain strokes as well.
Yeah, we just talked to Isaac. It sounds like Isaac's going to be playing hole 16 for par all 3 days. So right there, it's let's just assume Isaac's in the lead down the stretch at Ivy, right? Hole 16, he's playing for par. If you're playing for birdie, that's 1 stroke right there.
Yep.
Hole 17,
who knows what'll happen?
Yeah.
That can be easily a 2-stroke swing, right? And then hole 18, I don't love hole 18. It's not one of my favorite finishing holes of all time. But there is a little bit of score separation, right? Because if you get a little bit squirrely on your tee shot, your second shot can be a little dicey, and then you
can have really tough footing. When you're going to that golf tee.
And you could go low off your second shot, and now you have a much harder, longer, harder. So 18 could be wild. So I'm with you. I think if you're 3 back going into 16, I think you're in the mix.
Yeah.
Which is nice because some courses we play, it's if you're 3 back going into 16, you need the other person to blow up.
Yeah.
And I like it. Edwin threw up a stat too for you. He said your average finish at majors, 5th in 2022, 7.5 at 2023, and 3rd this year so far. So pretty consistent over the last 3 years. And obviously this season you're having the best average finish you've had so far with majors. And, obviously that's just 2 majors. We got 2 more coming up. But what changes? Let's play this game. What changes if Calvin all of a sudden becomes world champion? Are we going to start seeing you roll up in a fancy car? Are you going to get a perm? Are we going to start seeing fancy jewelry?
Like,
what's changing here? What's happening?
I don't think anything's changing.
Just next
but I've
day.
never won a world title. Hard to say.
Could just start doing crazy stuff. Who knows?
I'm gonna text him, be like, "Hey man, you want to come on the podcast?" And it's just gonna direct me to his like manager that's like handling all his phone calls now. It's like, sorry, you have to go through me now. Yeah, no, it seems like you would definitely be one of those people where you're, like it wouldn't like have a huge impact. I mean, I think you would obviously appreciate it, but it doesn't seem like you're someone that would like all of a sudden like your life would just change and you'd start acting differently, dressing differently.
Yeah, I don't think so, but
you never know.
You never know.
You never know until it happens. That would be electric to see what happens. So yeah, how are you feeling? How you've got a couple practice rounds now? How are you feeling game wise going in? You were in skins too.
Yep. I played skins out at Ivy Hill,
which is always kind of, I don't know. I think some people try to get like, ooh, he didn't really play well at skins, or ooh, he played well at skins. Like skins, I don't think is a great.
No, I mean, you always kind of throw a little different shots, and then also what you end up with at the end isn't necessarily indicative of how
you actually played.
Yeah, it's really just if you shoot the best on the right hole at the right time, you end up with the most money.
Scott Stokley.
Yeah, the shot.
Biggest shot of all time. So game's feeling good though. I mean, you've been playing pretty solid the last little bit here.
Yeah, everything's feeling pretty good. Feel pretty good about the courses. I mean, everything's out there right in front of you. You just have to
go out there and execute it.
Yep.
Dude, it's gonna be fun. I think everyone's gonna be really excited. I know this one feels like it's going to be crazy.
I hope so.
Like I have a feeling of where we're not just gonna see like people slowly get farther and farther away from everyone. I feel like because we're going from New London to Ivy, I feel like there's going to be this, and then all of a sudden this, and like a little back and forth, and obviously going to the final round, there will be some separation. It'll be fun to see kind of how everyone goes there. Do we see another Tristan Tanner this year? That's the other
leading
question.
from the B pool.
Yeah. Because Ivy Hills, I think, is more scoreable than New London.
Yeah, definitely. As long as it's not windy. I think there's always a chance. You know, I mean, you're talking about 2 rounds, so basically someone in B pool just has to have 2 hot rounds. And
well, no, I was just saying, 2 rounds is crazy. I was just saying 1 round.
No, you're just saying
I'm just saying like after
Ivy, there's a solid chance.
After round 1, can we see a leader from B pool?
Yeah.
Since it's Ivy versus New London, 2 rounds would be wild. It could happen, but it would be wild.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's someone in B pool that's like in the mix
pops
after.
Well, yeah, because I was thinking too. Like I barely made it into the A pool this year, and so that made me like interested, like what the last couple years has looked like, the cutoff, and the cutoff has gone up drastically the last couple years of where it's like
getting deeper.
Yeah, if you were just like over 1,000 rated, like you were in the A pool.
Yeah,
and now the cutoff was 10-10, I think.
I'd say there's a guy here who I think is one of our employees. I'm pretty sure he's 1,000 rated or right at it, and he's in the B pool.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
crazy stuff. You got anything coming out this week? Anything for the people? You doing any meet and greets? You doing anything like that, or?
I guess the only thing I can think of is I'll be over after the round at Ivy. I'll be over at the end of a booth signing discs.
Heck yeah.
I think they have some rhinos over there or something.
And you are second feature card?
I believe so tomorrow, yeah.
Second feature? Okay, so finishing,
feature.
Gosh, what do you think the pace of play is going to be out there with our slow walkers? It might be bad. It might be bad with those hills and our slow walkers.
New London tomorrow?
Oh, New London's tomorrow. It might not be that bad.
Yeah.
Rounds can get long out there.
Ivy's going to be long.
I mean, I walked it for skins, and it wasn't as bad of a walk as I thought it was going to be after I drove it on a cart, so...
That's good. I just know there's going to be some people for sure being like, hey, do you guys all care if we take 30 seconds to catch our breath after walking up this hill? I'm going to be like, no. Throw, brother.
Yeah.
We did play, we did a little Foundation versus the Nation thing today, which is like we just play with a bunch of our fans, and it's awesome. And we had a decent amount of kids out there. Mm-hmm. They were some of the fastest players.
They were like,
so the
future's fast.
Future is bright.
Gannon jump.
Love it. Yeah, I'm just hoping people aren't watching him play and thinking that's the way to go. You got anything else for the people, Calvin? I know you're hungry probably, so I don't want to keep you too long.
No, I don't have anything really going on.
Calvin's shirt?
It's not happening this week. I'm sorry.
I thought it might have been busted
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I thought you might bust out the Calvin. I mean, the chat's just going to go crazy about the Calvin shirt. The people want to see the Calvin shirt. The people want to see the Calvin shirt.
Yeah,
so.
still haven't made that happen. But never know.
If you need someone to make it happen, I know a guy.
Okay. Well,
you just let me know.
Maybe if I win a world title.
Okay.
Maybe
All
that's
right.
what'll change.
Look at that. Chaser 90K shirt. He wants a shirt. Love it. All right, Calvin. Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by,
appreciate
brother. Good luck this week.
Buy a Toro, buy a Calvin Halo Destroyer. Sounds like rhinos too.
Calvin Heimburg, ladies and gentlemen.
Worlds, man. Worlds week.
Oh my gosh, that was like a nice little. What do you call that what do they call
Rotating
that?
door. I don't know.
No, there's some name for that, like the people like Super Bowl presser. They call it something.
Press conference.
No, but it's like called something when you have people. Normally it's like an interviewer, and it's exactly what we just did. You just basically sit down and people.
I know they have like Radio Row down
What is
there.
that called, guys? I know someone in the chat knows what I'm talking about. What?
Panel?
No. It's called something.
Speed dating.
No,
I
it's
think that
definitely
was
not
it.
called
That was-
speed dating. Pee-weet.
You sure? Media Day.
No, it is media day, but they call it something. There is
Robin.
no.
I'm just reading every comment.
It might be a scrum.
A scrum?
It
Never
might
heard
be
of
a
that.
scrum.
I think
Is that what it is?
Kegu made that up.
No, I don't think. I think scrum might be it.
Junket.
Yeah, it's called a media scrum. Media scrum.
Media scrum.
Yeah, and you just basically sit and you just have like
That was fun.
people fly through. I love it. We have to do this every year, I think. Maybe even do it at USDGC because that was fun to do at USDGC too when people just like were rolling in afterwards. So at tribute, exactly. Skirmish. I'm just saying
Yeah,
words.
you're just reading now.
I'm just reading.
You got
I got locked into the chat and I was just reading it.
That's a dangerous place to be. You never know what's coming next.
Well, this is more of a live show than anything. So let's just throw it out there and we'll have Silas throw up some of the takes.
Love it.
Who do you have winning FPO? We'll let you go too while the chat's talking. Who do you have winning FPO? Who do you have winning MPO?
FPO, I'm going with Kristen. I think there's going to be a lot of people that, maybe not a lot of people, most people are going to pick Kristen, but I also do think there's some people that are factoring in, just got married, took a little bit of a break there, has been playing over here. She flew in more recent than a lot of other players. I don't think any of that
get
matters.
the just got married thing.
What is it's not really a distraction. It's just like one thing to take you away.
But to me, I'm going to be honest with you guys.
It can be a distraction.
Can I be honest here? Can I be honest for a second? I'm going to be honest. There are a lot of media companies out there. I'm not talking just disc golf, right? I'm not talking about other disc golf podcasts. I'm talking about just like media companies that are talking about football every day, basketball every day. They have a podcast, they have a segment every day. They have to come up with stuff to talk about.
Yes.
Because there's only so much.
Sure.
So they make up stuff and say like, this person just got married this week. I don't know. Their head might not be in the. No, what? Stop it. That's not a real storyline. We don't have a podcast every day. We don't have to make up stuff.
I'm not making it up. Storyline.
It's not a storyline.
We'll see.
It's not.
People also didn't like my Macbeth baby jet lag story pre Idlewild.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
That's a good take.
No, it's not. It's not a good take.
So Kristen's my pick to win, though. Kristen's my pick to win. I'm still riding. I almost got persuaded to go to Issac. They put me in.
That was way too confident. I did not like how confident he was.
He was very confident,
and I didn't like how confident Gannon was.
Gannon was very confident in Issac because Gannon was my pick to win.
Yes.
So I think you know what? I think I'm throwing them both out the window. I think I'm going Ricky.
Oh, Ricky did seem. Here's
the deal. Ricky has been incrementally playing better and better, right? The only thing that slowed him was that rib injury. And if it was just a dislocated rib, you get it popped in. He basically had said like all that was left was inflammation to go down, which that was like a week and a half ago. Inflammation should be gone. He should be back into what looked like peak Rick form. And the dude knows how to win majors. It's been a long time. It's been 7 years, but the dude knows how to win a major. So I'm flipping it. I was Team Gannon all the way. Gannon did not seem nearly as confident as I wanted Gannon to be in that chair. He seemed extremely confident in Issac, but I'm going Rick. I'm going Rick.
But Gannon's also kind of like that, though. Gannon kind of acts like he doesn't really know what's happening before the tournament. And then after the tournament, he's like, yeah, I knew I was going to win.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's one to say anything before.
This is good play. Good way to do it. But
Yeah.
Isaac seemed very confident.
Isaac seemed very confident. And from what I've heard from people, his putt is out of control right now. And when his putt is out of control, that means everyone's in trouble. But I mean, we had Murderers Row come through tonight as far as the MPO side goes.
Yeah.
You know, the one person, AB was going to potentially come on tonight, but he ended up having to pick someone up from the airport. I think his name is in the mix.
Definitely.
I think obviously Paul Macbeth's name is in the mix.
Simon can say what he wants to say. His name's in the mix.
Always.
Yeah. Well, but especially out here, because I really, this is in my head, and I could be proven wrong, this is a throwers tournament. I think in both fields.
Yes.
I think that looks aren't just going to come easy. You're gonna have to go get them. And Simon Lizotte, after playing with him and after watching his game a lot more since then, I'm fully convinced that he's similar to what I used to talk about Katrina Allen back in the day.
R disagrees.
Well, it's similar to what I used to talk about Katrina Allen back in the day, where Katrina, I always said, was the best thrower of the disc.
Mm-hmm.
Her putter had to get hot.
Yeah.
I think that's the boat Simon's in week out, is I think that he just throws the disc so well and he laces lines, especially his hyzer flip game was looking incredible recently, and that's what you kind of want at New London at least, to where if his putter just gets on, I have a hard time seeing people have the ability to score better than Simon Lizotte.
He is one of those guys, there's not that many of them, but he is one of those guys of where if he plays at his highest ability, there's only a handful of guys that can win.
Yeah, I think all of them came through tonight.
I think they pretty much were all there tonight. Yeah. I think AB is the only other one I think we're missing.
AB. Chris Dickerson, I saw someone put up in the chat. I think
he's a step below. I think
I do think he's a really good pick for this weekend.
Correct.
I think he'll be in it won't surprise me in the top 5.
But I think he needs all the people that came through tonight not play well.
No, he doesn't. He's one of the players I think we were asking a lot of them, like, can you slip up?
Correct.
And Calvin was like, I could slip. I think a player like Chris Dickerson can't slip up.
No.
I think at one of them, it takes 5 of their best versus a Gannon could have 4 great, 1 decent.
Yeah.
For Gannon.
Kyle Klein, that's an interesting take too.
Klein's going to be great too.
Kyle Klein, that is a very interesting take.
He goes so under the radar. Under the radar. Instantly, the next one Silas brought up was Klein's a no, and then Klein's a yes, then Klein's a no.
I think with Simon though, I think we will know after round
1. Yeah.
If he has a good, solid round 1 in the mix.
I'm going to say a similar thing about Gannon. I think we'll know.
I don't know, though, because at the European Open, like, he didn't have a good first round. He looked super frustrated.
It could be true.
And he was able to figure it out.
I do like Tyler made a good point.
What'd he
Hunter in the
say?
mix. I will be on lead card every day.
That is impressive. Not everyone can say that out there. What are your thoughts on the media? How do you think that's going to work for spectators? I know, there was a lot of talk coming into this week with no cell phones. Like, how is that all going to, transpire?
I don't know.
Is there going to be an uproar?
Well, here's the good news: is it's Wednesday and Friday's round. At least it's not a Saturday and Sunday round.
That's true.
So there's a decent chunk of the spectators that doesn't affect.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think it was a huge ball drop by the PDGA or at least the event, whoever was in control of that, because I think had that information been available pre-buying your ticket, people might not have liked it still, but you're not really batting an eye.
Well, at least you know.
You know what you're buying.
Correct.
Here, I've bought my ticket because I bought 2 VIP passes from my wife and I pre getting a media pass. I bought my ticket, and then I get an email saying I can't bring my phone. I think that's why they're getting the pushback they are. But at the end of the day, you have to prioritize where most people are watching it, and that's at home. So you have to prioritize that. And if that means people can't use their phone, that's what it means. It sucks, but it is what it is. I think New London's going to be so hard spectator-wise on the grounds. I'm concerned about it.
It's not great.
I know they have the Bushnell Boulevard thing. You'll be able to walk. I've ran that trail multiple times. Like it's an okay trail. You'll be able to see the golf happening, but you're not going to be able to. I actually disagree. VIPs, there's certain VIP levels you can pick a card and walk with them. If you're on that tier, do it. Pick your card and walk. If you're general admission or you're not on that VIP tier, I think the whole 5 is going to be a good one to just sit and watch some.
Hang out,
because that's where the vendors and food's going to be too.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun one to watch, and once lead card comes through, I would kind of just jump around. I would walk from 5 up to maybe you can catch them on like 7 and watch some approach shots on 7 and just watch as much golf as you can. But it will be made up for because Ivy is going to be
incredible.
Just the chef's kiss of, because even the only qualm against Ivy is spectator-wise. Once you leave the clubhouse, you don't come back till 18. They got like 3 shuttle points out there to where you don't have to make the walk all the way back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like hole 8 or 9, the neighborhood intersects, and they're going to have a shuttle right there for you to get on the shuttle and come back to the clubhouse.
I didn't know about that.
Or you can shuttle out. So if I want to watch lead card tee off, but then, whatever other group is already through 9 holes, I can watch lead card, go hop on a shuttle, watch out there, hop on a shuttle back. Like, it's going to make life very easy. So I think Ivy's going to more than make up for it. I think people who are here for the whole week they're in for an experience. It's going to be an absolute blast.
The hole that I would post up on, and I don't know, when I was out there I practiced on Monday, so I didn't get to see. I know they were throwing up a lot of bleachers on Monday, so I don't know if they're going to do it on this hole, but it's the one that goes super down and then up to the basket right before the par 3.
Which course?
Ivy. It's on the back 9. Is it on the back 9? It's right before the par 3, the downhill par 3 with the hay bales.
You're talking par 4?
It's par 4.
Yeah, way downhill.
You're throwing way downhill,
10.
and then you kind of throw straight across the gully.
Hole 10.
And it's like a
on
super
the hill. Yeah.
hill.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, hole 10. I hope, yeah, here it is. I hope they have bleachers on that tee pad behind the basket at the top of the screen. I hope there's bleachers there. If there is, guys, you have to post up there at least an hour or two, because watching people's shots come into the fairway is going to be electric. And then the approach shot is one of the most pure. I mean, we sat there and watched Ricky because he was behind us one of the practice rounds. We watched him through like 2 or 3 shots in, and it was awesome. It's so cool watching a disc fly
I think it was,
like that.
It might have been Simon. One of the people was talking about how the elevation doesn't come through on camera. That's one of the holes. It's really
does.
true on. It's so hard. Well, I mean,
it does if you're behind the. Oh, you're
but it's just
camera. On camera. Yes, on camera.
It's so hard to realize how far down they're throwing. But what's also tricky about that hole is you're playing on the golf fairway.
Yes,
and so it's fast. It's so fast.
You can skip easy left, OB.
You almost have to. When I played it, because for like one of the flex starts or before the collegiate event or something, I was playing a hyzer flip that got to flat and then hyzered. Awful idea, because it has too much speed coming into the ground on that angle. You almost have to have something flex, or you can go softer and like a fairway.
I go super wide.
Or super wide.
Yeah.
But if you're trying, because we were at that time, it played as a par 5 for us, more average players, and you could eagle it. It just took a heck of a shot, and so I was trying to get as far down as I could. But I noticed if you thought you landed in the middle, you're probably OB.
Yeah.
If you want to be viewing like coming on the right, but I think that's going to be a hard one. I think Ivy might view from home a little more boring than it actually is.
It always does.
Only because of
it always does.
The elevation is what makes this course what it is, and that's so hard to get through on camera. Yeah. It's near impossible to get through on camera.
Well, Augusta's like one of the most hilly courses in golf, and
really.
And you can't really tell from
I had
cameras.
No idea.
Yeah. All right, so we did not. I'm still hacked, by the way. Russia. Twitter still hacked. Russia, please release my Twitter account immediately. So I wasn't able to do listener questions. So Silas, I think what we'll do is we'll open up questions, and Silas will throw up the good ones that he deems good on the screen.
Love it.
We'll answer some, and then we'll call it a night, because I got a tea time tomorrow, brother.
What time's your tea time?
11:15,
okay.
11:08, 11:10, 11:15.
I think my game plan, if you're in town, 11 what?
11:17.
So specific. I wonder what's the gapping between tee times to get an 11:17
No,
tee time?
do you think the PGA has any idea what they're doing?
Yes.
You do?
How much do you win Worlds by, Brody?
How much do you win Worlds by? I mean, I think if we're saying I win Worlds, I think I'm winning it by 1.
Nice.
I don't think I'm blowing out the field.
Ooh. That's a tough one.
What will be the total that wins? I'm going to go and say...
I'm going to say 42. Under.
No, more.
Ooh. You think the average almost double?
44.
Okay. Well,
not much more.
Not much more. That's fine. As long as you're in the same ballpark.
I'm thinking like 10 under average at New London or at Ivy, and then 7 under at New London.
That makes sense.
Brody Hunter, do you think Kyle Klein has a chance? I think so.
Absolutely.
I think he is, I think with him just being quiet, he doesn't post that much on social media.
He goes under the radar.
He does go under the radar quite a bit. His game also isn't like crazy flashy.
Yep.
So it's not like an AB or anything like that where you're crazy about his distance.
I love the not flashy players out here.
Yeah.
I think this is a show up, put your head down, and get work done type of a weekend.
I agree. Who shoots the lowest round at New London? Ooh, that's a good question. I'm going to say Issac.
I'm going to say it's someone just like dark horse. I'm
Really?
going to think it's someone who like goes,
Ran and Lotta.
like 3 under first round and then somehow goes 13 or something. Like just does something crazy.
Ran and Lotta plays good at New London.
Gavin Babcock, why not?
Babcock. All right. Which Calvin is best, long or short hair? Ooh, that's a good
Was he
one.
long?
Edwin, that's a good one for Edwin to
Our in-house
figure
Calvin
out.
fan, Robbie.
Oh yeah, Robbie does hate Calvin.
He loves Calvin.
No, he hates Calvin.
Which is better, long hair Calvin or short hair Calvin? He said in terms of winning, long hair Calvin. Because he was long hair Calvin was last year, right?
He had long hair right now.
No, he does not have long hair right now. That's short hair Calvin.
It was not buzzed.
No, but long
Am I
hair
crazy?
Calvin is not. Long hair Calvin's
So
like,
what is he right now? Medium hair Calvin?
I would say short.
So is that his greatest form?
He's not.
Medium? No, I'm saying medium Calvin might be his greatest form.
Maybe.
How many strokes do you think weather will affect each course? So
0 this week. I don't
the
think.
weather looks incredible.
Yeah.
I think if
It's gonna be 55 in the morning.
New London, I would say when it's wet, like if it's rainy, I think New London plays, I would say 2 shots harder. And I would say Ivy would probably play 3 to 4 shots harder if it was windy.
How do you feel when we played with Ezra and I think with Gossage? One of the two of them was asking about the tee pads. You played it way more recently than me. Now that a lot of people have played through, what's the status on New London's tees? Are they?
They're fine.
They're fine. Okay.
I didn't have any issues.
I was worried about them. I was like, you're gonna have 1,000 rounds across here.
I think they're gonna probably brush them up too. Nice. Hopefully. Which course is better to start on, New London or Ivy? Ooh, this is a good question. A or B pool? I think honestly, if we're talking equal skill set right now, because obviously if you suck in the woods, Ivy. If you don't throw far, New London. But if we're talking equal skill set, like you can play both best.
Yeah.
I would probably say, because if you go B pool, you could go Ivy, New London.
Yeah.
Which I think would be advantageous. I think having back-to-back rounds at New London would be advantageous. Now, do I think anyone in the B pool is going to win or get in the top 10? No, I don't. But
I like the idea of starting at New London. Only because I like the idea of you don't have the pressure to come out and get super low. I feel like you can cover up a decent round at New London easier than you can cover up a decent round at Ivy. Like, I feel like if you come out at New London and you go 4, it's like, okay, whatever. If you come out at Ivy and you go slow and you go like 4, I feel like it's a little bit more drastic there.
I think I agree with you. I think Ivy has the biggest, like if you play good at New London versus playing bad at New London, I think that separation is smaller than Ivy. I think if you play bad at Ivy, like if you have an off day at Ivy, I think it can get bad quick.
Yeah, that's what I think. I like
quick.
I would like starting at New London from that aspect where I feel like I'm less likely to shoot myself out of it after round 1 at New London.
Yes.
So I like the let's get out there and just get our feet wet.
Get through it.
Yeah. Just get the ball rolling with the tournament.
JS asks a good question. Feelings on the news about the back 7 at New London in danger. So if you guys didn't see, it looks like they are going to be doing potential development, business development that is going to pretty much wipe out almost the entire back 9 at New London. Hunter's got more info on that if you want to share that.
Yeah, essentially they got a government department here got a grant from the state of Virginia for like $1.5 million or something. I think I saw online to further develop. Let's first set the ground. When New London went in, we knew this was a possibility. It's in a business technical park. The trails that it went in on are essentially through like mountain bike trails and stuff. There is a decent section of New London that's kind of undevelopable. So those holes aren't going anywhere. But we always knew there's this section, something could happen. It's very unfortunate that when the time came and got called is like, I think the official news dropped like 11 days ago, like August 9th.
Yeah,
so it's like right
timing.
before Worlds. here's the other things I do know. Some other things is in the article I read, they do have to match the grant to get the money. So they have applied for other grants that have not been fully granted. From what I can tell online, you never know what's going on behind the scenes. So there's always that hope. The other thing is I've talked to and / am talking to the head of economic development, who's the right person to be talking to. They're aware of disc golf. They know what we're doing. Yeah, it's $3 million. It's $1.5 million is the initial grant. They have to match that 1.5. That's what is still semi up in the air. Pretty locked in, semi up in the air. But that grant can be used other places. It doesn't have to be used with the New London Tech. That's my angle I'm going at this with when I'm talking to them. I'm really hoping that I can be like, hey, look. We have Worlds. I'm going to try to, get a meeting or phone call post-Worlds so I can use that as leverage. But we have Worlds here. They obviously are going to see how many people come to Bedford County. We don't have much stuff to Bedford County. There's stuff that brings people to Lynchburg. Liberty's in Lynchburg. Bedford County, this is where I was born and raised. This is my...
Frisbee's really
this is our thing.
The bread and butter.
And so, not only do we have Worlds that you're going to watch, but then the Pro Tour Championship, in my opinion, its longevity in Lynchburg's contingent on New London. If the Pro Tour Championship comes next year and it's only at Ivy, I don't know if it comes back.
Probably not.
So to me, that's my pitch is, can we at least hold off? Can you at least just assess what type of economic, because you can develop this land, but there's no guarantee that that property is going to sell. And so this grant could be used somewhere else as well. But there is a guarantee that we have another disc golf tournament coming here next year. Mm-hmm. That's guaranteed. It's already on the books. So can we at least delay and assess and maybe look at some other possibilities of where this money could be used? That's our best bet. I know one angle, this is the angle Paul's taking, that could also work is if the course gets high enough in the UDisc rankings, it's at least another chip in the argument of this Bedford County has a top 10 disc golf course in the world. Right now it's at 38, I think. It's number 2 in Virginia behind Lake Marshall.
Well, hey, we almost made Dash's track one of the top courses in the world. So if you're listening to this right now, jump into your UDisc app, go to New London, and maybe wait till you see the course.
Yeah, that way you can leave a legit review.
Wait until you see the course tomorrow. And then leave a review. What did you think of the course? Because I don't think you have to play the course to leave a review. I think if you watch, you can. I think if you watch, I think you can definitely leave a review.
Yeah, because that is one thing that that can at least stack to the argument, right? Is this is the number 5 disc golf course in the world, number 1 in the state of Virginia. Bedford County, this will put it on the map. Because they don't see some of the tourism. We have legitimately 5 to 10 people a week, I would say average. That might be a low number that come through our store doors that the reason they're in town is to play disc golf in Bedford County, specifically New London.
Yeah.
And that's economic impact that you can't really measure because those are only people that came to our store. Who knows who else is coming? And again, Bedford County, we don't have stuff that brings people to town like that.
Nope.
So those are the chips I'm going to play. I'm also going to talk to them hey, if we were to get a petition, is that something y'all would even be open to? Of can I just show you what type of impact this course has on the greater disc golf community? Is that even something that will fall on open arms? Or I just want to get a feel of hey, don't waste your breath. This is a signed deal. We're done. We've already or is it we're open to at least hearing your side? So that is the conversation I'm hoping to have next week. I've already been emailing with the director there, so things look promising to at least get a conversation, which I think is all I can ask for. Because like I said, I'm not stupid, I'm not naive. It's a business center, it's a business park. Disc golf was just one of the things that was there, and we always knew this was a possibility. It's not like New London would be gone forever. We'd be able, I believe that there's more land where we could redesign and still have the course sit. It's always going to be compared to its current form, and I've ran all those trails. The land it's on is the best land for it to be on.
Yeah.
So, there's already a petition going, Hunter. Okay, I just didn't want to put our audience towards something that might be worthless.
Yeah, well, if there's already one, might as well, right? Send it. Why not?
So, but hey, I am hopeful. We'll put it that way, simply because I have a hopeful. I'm a hopeful youth. Whatever. Maybe I haven't been burned enough, but I'm hopeful that this is a big deal to the county. This is a big deal to the area. And we don't have many big deals. So I can at least I know I'm at least talking to the right person to where, and so far, whenever I've worked with people in the Bedford County government, they have been incredibly receptive to disc golf.
That's nice.
And so I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that I'll at least get a conversation with the right person and we can at least figure out, like, hey, what can we do? And then I know Foundation Nation will pull together if there's something we can do to get this thing done.
We used to get like the address, and then everyone just sends a letter and overwhelm
Well, again,
them
that's
with
the
letters.
other thing that I don't want to reveal, this person's name or email because
Not yet.
you don't.
Not
In my
yet.
opinion, it's a very sensitive situation, and you don't know how someone's going to react to where you don't.
That's our last stand, though. That's our last stand. Last stand, we flood their mailbox with envelopes.
You don't want someone who up front is open and receptive and then
Correct.
gets just pestered by disc golfers, and then it becomes a spite play where it's like,
Correct.
I can't stand these disc golfers now. That's not what we want to happen. So that's why I'm like, let's feel things out before we start making some calls to action so that we know what we're dealing with. And if it's like, this is happening tomorrow, then yeah, all hands on deck. Let's drop the email and let's get some noise made.
Yeah, just
but if
wear
this
like
is like
the,
we can talk our way through it, then let's talk our way through it.
What's the mask? What's the white hockey mask? Johnny?
Freddie?
No, Freddie Krueger's the guy with the...
Yeah, good call. Good call.
Jason. Jason. Yeah, just get a couple people with the Jason mask to stand outside the house.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
No, that's saying like that's last.
No, that's never an option.
That's last.
That is not an option on any table
That's
ever.
last
You gotta be careful what
option.
you're saying nowadays. That's not an option ever. Period.
You can't wear a hockey mask and stand on the sidewalk? That's against the law?
We're not asking anyone to do that.
I'm just asking, is that against the law?
I'm just saying we're not asking anyone to do that.
All right, fair enough. All right. Silas, was there any other good questions?
Wow, Silas was roasting.
If you ask a question, it did not show up.
Silas hates it.
Silas thinks it's trash.
That's
So
where we're
there you
at.
have it. Maybe we need Silas to go through the debate night questions that Trevor lets in sometimes. 'cause-
Oh no!
Jeez.
Trevor's catching strays.
There you go, Caden. You made it,
Caden,
brother.
you made it. Welcome to the big stage.
All right, well, that was a fun show. Thanks to everyone that made it possible. Silas obviously behind. I mean, can we give some... This is what the show is supposed to be, guys, eventually. Okay, this is how it's supposed to look.
Move back to
This is
the
how it's
church.
supposed to
Who said
sound.
that?
This is how all those things are supposed to go down. So if you like the way the show looks, drop a W in the live chat right now for Silas for putting it all together. Shout out to our doorman, Robbie, who
Robbie.
was letting in all the... I mean, that was crazy at the beginning. There was like 8 people.
I'm
just
glad I
rolling
didn't
in.
have your job.
It was a tough job.
I would not have done well.
Shout out to Edwin Stats in the house. Very nice having him in the house. Shout out to Hunter filling in. Shout
I was a
out
little
to,
nervous up front.
Were you?
Yeah.
No, you're fine.
made
Shout out to Yuli, about to be a dad.
Exciting.
And shout out to all you guys watching tonight. We had almost 2,000 people throughout the entire show.
Edwin called it. He said that when I'm on, the show gets over 1,000. It wasn't anything with the pros.
Nothing with the pros.
I was here,
Nothing with the blurry
over
horse.
1,000.
Nothing with the blurry horse. It is what it is. But we appreciate it. You
No
guys
one
make
knew
the
if there
live
was gonna be
show.
a blurry horse, so they clicked on.
But I'm saying, like, I think a lot of times people see blurry horse and they're like, I'm just going to listen.
That's fair.
And they just wait. I could be wrong. But yeah, you guys make the show. That's why we do it live. Love having you guys talk in the chat, bring up the chat during the show. Even this one was actually kind of fun because some of the people, our guests, were seeing what
It
you
was
guys
funny,
were saying.
Yeah. Gannon was
could
sitting
see-
here and looking at the what was it called?
Little chat
course
bubbles.
map. He was looking at the course map when the Edwin stat popped up on his average finish.
yes.
And Gannon was just sitting there staring at it right at him.
Yeah, very nice. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Tune in tomorrow. Women's goes off at 9:30,
I believe.
Men's goes off at 3:15.
And if you're not a DGN subscriber yet, you can use code FDG10. Get yourself 10% off your standard monthly or pro monthly. Or if you're like, hey, screw it, I'm all in, use code FDG20. Get 20% off your annual for DGN.
Wow. Didn't know we had those codes. That is very impressive stuff. But I hope to see you guys. I know there's going to be a lot of you on the grounds. So if you see any of the people from Foundation, definitely come up and say what's up. That's some of the best thing is like hearing the stories from, when you guys started watching us or anything like that.
Also, if you're in town, the releases start tomorrow morning.
Yes.
9 a.m. retail store. The MVP drop is first. We have a drop every day and 2 on Saturday. So you also
will be vending on site.
Vending on the course, apparel. This hat Brody's rocking.
Yes.
Every day you'll be able to check out that.
This is the best hat. I know Hunter doesn't like it because he has.
I like it. I have a small head. It doesn't fit my head.
All you big head people out, this is the hat.
Turn it.
Look at this.
Show them the side.
Look at this. I don't know if you can zoom in on that, Silas.
You can't. Cover your face. Just look at the logo right there, huh?
No, I was just saying, look how many prongs I have.
And I was just saying, look at the logo.
Well, it's an Adidas hat, but normally I'm on the last prong. I'm like living on the edge. I'm 3-prong, guys.
Yeah.
I have a huge head. I'm
3-prong.
3-prong. So definitely check out the hats.
A few of these hats also available, and you'll get, if you show up to the Fly Mart, first 250 people get a free foundation hat. And then if you happen to wear said foundation hat any foundation hat on Sunday, any foundation apparel, 15% off. So
wear your apparel.
Of stuff. If you're in Worlds, just check our website. There's a whole World schedule there. You can find out all the fun stuff that's going on.
A lot going on. I hate to do it to him, Size. I got to do it. What's the number? Where are we at right now? I hate to do it in front of Hunter. I know it's tough. I know
what are we looking at? What am I about to witness?
Merch.
Oh, we're still tracking that?
We're you guys, we're not tracking you guys anymore. We used to track both. We kind of stopped tracking you guys.
Track both, Silas.
Nah,
I'll pull up. No, I'll pull up.
We kind of stopped tracking you guys.
Okay, Tour Life is 543.
Not okay. We're 7 away from 550.
I don't trust Silas's numbers.
No, Silas is never wrong. Whoa.
582.
Oh, baby!
Wait, when did they
get wrecked? Y'all should have been tracking us. You should have been tracking
Silas!
us. It's a cute little show you run here. Cute little operation.
Silas, what happened?
Woo! Oh, great show, everyone. This is now my show. I own this place. Welcome to Grip Lock.
What the heck happened?
Oh, what a fun. I'm glad y'all did that. That was great. That was a cute little show. We probably passed y'all months ago. That was great.
Hey, shout out to John, though, joining Tour Life
How's the
crew
back
for
of my
the
Grip
first
Lock
time.
shirt look?
I don't know. That's incredible. That's crazy. The Hunter bump. Yeah. We're gonna have to do something about that.
Grip Lock merch, foundationdisc.com.
I think we might need to bust out a Dark Horse sports card shirt.
The only thing that can
Tour
save
Life
you is more
edition.
Dark Yuli merch.
Dark Yuli merch is fire.
Or you can also check out the Connor horse.
Connor Horse is also fire. There's a lot of fire stuff. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. You guys make this the best show ever. Thank you. Look forward to next week's gonna be wild. We're gonna be talking to a new world champion.
That's crazy.
Well, maybe not new. We're talking to two
world champions.
world champions. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Take care. We'll see you next week.